Live and direct, live and a date no jive.
Legalize it.
So how much can a koala bear? Koala bear, koala bear. Koala bear. Barry pulls a joint out of his pocket. Bill says, great, Barry, a reefer.
Hi, welcome back. It's the Karma Koala podcast. And for the first time, I'm going to speak to somebody in Nepal, which is very exciting because I've always associated hemp and cannabis with Nepal. People don't so much these days. But when I was young, you knew that if you wanted to travel anywhere, you'd go to Nepal for your weed. I'm speaking to Pratik Karki, and he is a very busy man. He's the chairman and CEO of ReEvolution. He's the founder and chief product and on development for Natural Fibre Promotion Board Nepal. He's also the president of a platform that facilitates local entrepreneurs, I presume, with fibres and hemp. And he's also a chairman part-time of the Hemp Association of Nepal. So he has a lot of hats. Pratik, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Maybe just give us a little bit of background of why you're in hemp, how you came into hemp.
Well, I love the planet and I have always been trying to build solutions. What I can contribute back to this planet, to this life, that is a gift. So my vision was to create a sustainable and holistic world. So everything that I do is aligned to that principle.
Were you thinking about hemp, or were you just thinking about that generally, and hemp is part of what you... Is it mainly what you do, or is it part of what you do?
No, it is like actually hemp came to my way. So what happened is I have like my personal experience. So I had paralysis, and then basically half of my body I was not able to move. And medical science gave up on, it did not work for me.
It's a story I hear over and over again. That's how people come. How people come to hemp and cannabis is through, medical treatment.
Yeah. So then it opened my way, that there are some things beyond. So it was a friend of mine, he was from Netherlands, and he told me that, there are these alternative ways. So then it opened my ways to all these alternative methods. So then I came across Ayurveda. So in Ayurveda, when I researched, then what I found is cannabis is one of the major plant that was used for medicine. And then I came across the endocannabinoid system, how it is ingrained in our system. And maybe the first humans on earth, they took hemp seeds, and then more and more I was researching on this plant. Then I thought I came to realize that it is able to solve so many stuffs. I was building homes out of earth bags. I was building zero waste schools. So before that, so then what I wanted to create is to find solutions for the needs of human beings, and how can I make my country self-sustainable. So basically what I found is that with hemp we can make clothes, we can make shelter, we can make hempcrete, we can make bioplastic. It is also
you can solve so many problems in a country like Nepal with, especially for me, obviously the building, but it's things like bioplastics that really interest me, because that means you're not spending money with, we look at the world today and the issues we've got in the Middle East. If everybody was using bioplastics, that would sort of start knocking out those issues, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And also currently there are a lot of problems of the soil, there is problems of the air, because right now, in order to have clean food, in order to have fresh air, so it is quite difficult. And I feel Nepal is still pure in that form, because if we look at the states, or if we look at the Western countries, there is fluoride used in the water, So there is a lot of corruption, like you cannot get like pure water, pure food. So that's why I have like a rooftop garden and I grow like my own food. And what I found is Nepal is the place of origin, because as you know, like just I don't use any pesticides. I don't use any urea in order to grow my food. So naturally, because of the soil quality of Nepal, hemp grew.
I certainly
Hemp grew
do, because
naturally.
as I said, when before
Yeah,
we spoke, when I first visited, I would just see huge bushes of hemp, well, that I thought
yeah,
was cannabis when I was young, growing on the side of the road. It was
yeah,
like I was in heaven. Well, it was,
yeah.
it was like heaven. I remember very clearly.
Yeah. No, it is. It has always been a heaven. Like before, also, cannabis was actually legal in Nepal,
Well, this is what
and
I wanted to ask you first for our listeners in places like the US who just don't know. There's quite a lot of political change in Nepal at the moment. So
yeah.
take us quickly through the legislative or the regulatory history of cannabis and hemp in Nepal and where we are now. So it was legal up to what point? The early 70s?
Yeah, yeah. It was legal then. That was the time of the, like when this basically Woodstock time, when like the hippie era. So basically, like people might think that, like because people could buy hashish, in a normal shop here. And a lot of people came from the West, and basically, like Nepal was the Silk Route.
Well, that's right. It was,
It was.
in my imagination, it was the center of cannabis when I came in the 80s, because I read all those books and read about those people. And, you thought about Lebanon and you thought about Nepal. Those were the two countries that we associated with cannabis.
Yeah, and like that gave birth, like the experience of Nepal, the purity, the utopia, that the paradise that we dream of. So when people came here, then I think it touched their hearts, it opened their minds. So it was the time like when the consciousness expanded. So basically, like Nepal was a center to that. So people came like hippie, basically, like people look down upon like this culture. But like lot of leaders have been born, like
Well, it's
out of
always,
the
people,
experience.
the ones are always 50 years ahead, that always takes them that long to catch up. And I mean, that's just a fact of life over history.
So like Nepal was free, but it became a victim, like of propaganda, of Western propaganda, because like there was like CIA and the American, like New World Order that they have been, like trying
Well,
to create. So
they're still at it.
they're
We
still
deal
at
with
it,
it every day.
Yeah, but it is good that people in America, they have fought, and they have kind of like made it legal in different states. The fight is like going on, so there are like different people who have brought out the science. So before it was just a concept, it was just a rebellious thought. People thought that by smoking like weed or something, they become rebels. They become like they are going against the values of the society, and that is what made them feel brave. But now there is like science backed, now it is like solving problems. Like there are many places in the world, they are having cancers, and it is used in order to like get their pain down.
So, what's the
And
situation now in Nepal with regard to law? So, on cannabis with THC first, is it entirely illegal?
yeah, it is illegal. So the golden time is coming, I guess, right now, because there has been a shift of the government.
Well, that's what I was going
So
to ask you
basically,
next. So, the new Gen Z, revolution. Do you think that will actually alter the government to think about changing these things?
yeah, so I almost got shot in that revolution. So I was in the front line. A lot of people like lost lives, and but the thing is, now their lives have paid well. Like we have like thrown the entire old system, the like traditional minds that were like parasites to this country. So basically, the reason why cannabis regulation was not moved ahead is because of KP Oli.
Hmm.
So like it was he had this traditional mindset where he thought that that is wrong. Otherwise, this new government, the new party leader Ravi Lami Chane, I worked with him, like with his team in order to like draft the bill, and they were quite open. They could not, they were receptive to the sign. So there are hopes that now, like basically, this new government is going to bring new energy, and what is right is going to be given a place.
So currently there is a bill that's been drafted that will be presented sometime in 2026.
Yeah, it is all ready. This party president was ready in order to like pass that bill, but
Hmm.
everyone was ready. It was just at that time the KP Oli government, against whom like the Gen Z revolution had happened. So basically it was just because of his narrow mindset that the bill could not move ahead. But now like everything looks
Looks
good,
positive. Well,
positive.
I'm really glad to hear that. And with regard to hemp, so what was the situation with the last government, and what are you trying to do now? I presume hemp is legal within a certain amount of THC. How does it work in Nepal?
So basically like there is no proper like ground set. So right now like basically people don't have the awareness.
Yeah.
So they think that cannabis and hemp is the same. However, like mostly so the hemp is used for textile, and then the hemp is also used for hempcrete, and also for bioplastic. So the stock herd is used, and also the fiber is used. Also the seeds are used. So basically the flower and then the leaves are not used. So basically the black market is still flourishing. People come to Nepal for all the good reasons, but still like it is not very open, but it is still open for textiles. So that's why like we have built this natural fiber promotion board, and we also
So
like build
you're
these
you're
associations.
looking to create a bigger export market with with the board.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like we have researched all these years, and we are able to like make anything out of hemp. We have the IP in order to do it. So we like researched and we developed this IP in house. So we also made like the first 100% hemp yarn in India.
Well, that
So
was actually going to be my next question is, so are you working with partners in India because they're still really old fashioned, and they're not going to change their Victorian rules about hemp or cannabis anytime soon under Modi. So how does that work between Nepal and India?
well, like India is a bigger market
Yeah.
for textiles, especially like big buying houses are there. So our company is also like registered in India. So basically, like in India, the problem is they don't have the raw materials,
So you're
and there
producing
is
the raw
like
materials and then they're processing them in India?
we are also processing it here. We are
Yeah.
also making the yarn here, but we are also like we also developed a supply chain in India.
Yeah.
Because right now like the thing is because the geopolitical scenario and the economic system is like changing. Sometimes like there is leverage to China, sometimes there is
Well, I was about
leverage
to
to
say, you're stuck
India.
between two very difficult countries when we're talking about cannabis
Yeah,
and hemp, aren't you?
yeah, we are like kind of crunch. So basically the best quality of yarn comes from China. So we have like that benefit as well, like we can import from there, and we can like make fabrics, we can send. And before like while sending to America, we used to get as a third world country, we used to get a lot of benefit also like when sending it to EU. But now after EU has slashed the taxes for India, so now like we can also utilize that.
Yeah.
So for us like either it is India or it is Nepal, our goal is that the farmers should be supported. Farmers are supported if there is an economy, if there is an industry, if like what they grow is bought. So basically, like we are able to create that industry. We started off building the supply chain before, like the supply chain was not strong. Now out of 77 districts in 42 districts, like we have got clusters.
And are you?
And we have got.
So I just got, have you created any relationships with industrial hemp companies in the US, Canada, and in other markets? I mean, I'm doing work in South Africa at the moment, and the hemp market is building there quite quickly.
Yeah, in hemp. So in South Africa also they made yarns. So they have, like, it has been around like 8-9 months since they have made like good quality yarns. So basically, like I think the goal is, like our goal is to create sustainable systems in the entire world. Like we are like thinking like
Well, it's great.
Web3.
It's great to hear somebody from Nepal talking about a global approach. I mean, that's my belief as well. Everybody's stuck in their own countries, but you really need a global approach to this to make it work, don't you?
Yeah, so we like for me, like as part of my vision, I wanted to create a world that takes care of the world. Like I definitely capitalism is needed for the company, because like if your grounds are not strong, then you cannot like give better. For example, in Argentina, before, like there was socialism, so they gave people free food, they gave people everything free, but that made the people lazy. But if we can like build these systems around the world, and if it would be decentralized system, then what can happen is like certain part of world can take care of itself,
So,
and
are
provide
you?
like for its needs.
I mean, this is an interesting thing. I'm talking to somebody of your generation because obviously I'm older. But so you're talking about really natural products that are helping from the grower all the way through the supply chain. But I presume you're also engaging with the most contemporary technology in order to make those systems work. So it's a far more healthy approach to combining technology with people than you would see, say, on the west coast of California, where they just help themselves to all the money from the people on the way through. It's a Nepalese sustainable approach to creating decentralized system using technology and product. To me, you're exactly right. Seems to be the way forward for in order to build sustainable economic systems.
Yeah, I think like that is what the world needs, because we have got Elon Musk, like who has got like far more money, and he has been like trying to build. He has expanded the consciousness of the world, that it is great, that he dreams of building this. Not only dreams, but he like does the work in order to build a world outside of Earth, to Mars, because he's worried that humans will destroy themselves,
But well,
and
humans shouldn't be. I mean, if we talk to you, humans won't be destroying themselves because they're working on creating. They're not. It's not American hyper-capitalism. It's using capitalism as part of your arsenal of tools to benefit human beings, which is what capitalism should be for, shouldn't it?
No, it is exactly what happens. And I think like people with all this power, people with all this money, they have not yet met themselves, and I think like this cannabis plant, this hemp, like it helps us to identify who we are at core, and we are like made out of nature. And when we like corrupt that nature, we suffer. And that's why like, but what I when I was healing my body out of this paralysis, what I realized is my body has the immunity, and my body has what it takes to heal itself. I did not take any medication, I did not take any like painkiller, anything, but I trusted on my body, and I like worked on that internal system, because of which it, like healed. So similarly, like that, our earth also needs these systems, because like what humanity needs is, it needs food, it needs shelter, and it needs clothes. And today, like, we have all these diseases, like mentally we are sick, and like it breaks my heart, to see this. And we come from the land of Buddha. We carry that tradition, within ourselves. We have been like blessed, that we grow of a culture. It is not like America, that has no culture behind, because it is like built on a culture of genocide, but now I think like we also embrace that, we also appreciate that. That's why a lot of people are coming to the east for that knowledge. And we also like need to take help from the west, because like they have got all these technologies, all this knowledge, but like by
It's
blending this
balancing the
knowledge.
two, isn't it? It's balancing the
Yeah,
two
yeah,
correctly to benefit human beings, and especially those
yeah.
human beings at the bottom of the ladder, not the ones at the top of the ladder. And that's what I'm seeing in Nepal at the moment, is the young understand that within themselves and are actively changing that, which I think is quite exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is a golden time for Nepal, and with this new government, so many youths are there. We have got a 37-year-old, like prime minister coming up, and he has been a rapper. He has been like singing like our voices, and we are like proud country. Like I think Nepal has shown that integrity. Nepal has like proven the integrity. Nepali people have proven the integrity of the highest order.
To go back to hemp very quickly, are you finding that all these people, you've got a whole new generation? Are a lot of people looking at hemp and cannabis as a way of creating a future for themselves? I mean, is it I presume technology is really important to young people and a whole range of, but is hemp and cannabis like attracting young people?
Well, like there can be like positive and negative as well. Basically, like every medicine, if you misuse it, then it can also, harm you.
Of course.
So basically, like a lot of youths, like they don't understand what this plant actually is. And, they kind of misutilize it, and later on, like, fall into, uh, prey.
And
They
all
become a
about
victim themselves.
education, isn't it? That's all about education within the
Exactly. So the
system.
awareness, because the old government had this stereotype, but now since this new government, it's like if the father is, like open, if the father is aware in the house, then the children are also, going to follow that role model.
Well, Pratik, thank you very much for talking to us. I think that's a great way to end on the Karma Koala podcast, and it makes me feel very, very positive about what's happening in Nepal at the moment, across the board. But it's really interesting to learn all the developments and how you're trying to connect internationally with people around the world on hemp and cannabis. And I'd love to talk to you later in the year and see how things are getting on, and hopefully be able to get you to South Africa to my conference at some time to talk about what's happening in Nepal.
Definitely. Thank you, Sean. It is an honor. And Viva La Nepal.
Viva La Nepal, and it makes
Viva
me
La
want
South
to,
Africa.
exactly, and it makes
and
me want
Indonesia
to visit
and
again.
America.
Yeah, it makes me want to
Thank
visit
you.
again. It's been a long time, so
Please come.
yeah.
It is the best place on earth,
I know.
Like
Look,
I'm so
I spent
privileged.
2 or 3 months there in the mid '80s, but I just haven't been able to get back. But talking to you encourages me a great deal.
It is heaven. So
Thank
welcome
you.
home.
Live and direct, live and I take no jive.
Legalize it. So how much can a koala bear? Koala bear, koala bear. Koala bear. Barry pulls a joint out of his pocket. Bill says, "Great, Barry, a reefer."